Closing is always easy when you're in Cardone U. We role play with Grant Cardone's team. They know just what to do. They're always there to support us. We couldn't ask for more. On our way in the right direction, we found what we're looking for. In FLC, in FLC. Closing is better with appointment setters. You'd better believe we're not a team but a family. We work together in harmony. We are devoted, on that you can quote me, in FLC.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the FLC Hangout, where your freedom lifestyle begins. Oh my goodness, I am so excited for this episode. I know I say this every single time, but this time, because I know the story we have behind this episode and how much value this is going to bring. So, as you can see, we have the amazing Aubrey here. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to hear more about you, your story, and your business, which is absolutely phenomenal. And your cute little babies on the call too. So thank you so much for blessing us with this. Before we do get started in today's topic, make sure you follow us all on Instagram. They're on the screens now and in the descriptions below. And without further ado, Misty, over to you.
Thank you, Josie. Hey guys, thank you so much for coming back and joining us again today. We have another powerful episode for you. This time we have Aubrey on. Aubrey is phenomenal. You guys have got to follow her. Check her out. She's got an incredible story, which I am super excited to hear about. Aubrey, thank you so much for being here. I know that in our group chat, you were talking a little bit about your history and things that you're doing. I am so intrigued. I want to know more. I want to know everything. So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and give a little bit of an introduction, who you are, what you do. And also, I have a quick question as well. You mentioned you have a spa that you have opened up. I would love to know more about that as well. So I'm going to pass it to you, Aubrey, because we're so super excited. Hopefully we can be entertaining so the baby here doesn't, she keeps yawning. It's like, hey, let's go.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. My name is Aubrey Judici. I am a mom above all else to 6 beautiful babies. I have my own holistic healing spa, and she's getting a little fussy. I have my own holistic healing spa, and it took a long journey to get to where I am today. I grew up always believing in magic and everything, fairies, elves, all that. And I just remember being so sensitive to energy. And I was always criticized, I was abused as a younger child from my parents who were going through things as well. And I just always felt like I wanted to hide myself. I was very shy. If an adult looked at me, I would cry. I was very, very shy. And so I was very sensitive, and I always thought that was a weakness up until my adulthood, honestly, until I discovered that my sensitivity was my superpower. And I've done so much healing, but what really ignited me to fully go on my self-discovery journey was the death of my brother 7 years ago. At the young age of 21, he was murdered in front of my grandparents' house, and I hit rock bottom. I started using drugs. I was drinking very heavily. There was a point in my life after that I didn't even pick up my children from school. I forgot about them. I was so drunk, and they called me, and I was seeking out toxic relationships and friendships, and I was in a relationship with someone who had a lot going on from his childhood as well. So after my brother died, it got worse, and he ended up shooting the gun through the house 8 times and then put the gun to my head, smoking And I just remember feeling like I wanted him to pull the trigger. I was just in a lot of pain. And I ended up running to the neighbor's house after, and we ended up getting evicted. And I moved with my mom. And I actually got pregnant with a friend who at the time was in a relationship with someone else. We're actually together this day. And I co-parent with my ex, amazing now. But it was a really, 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 really rough journey. And I remember moving with my mom. She had just, lost her baby, her son, and we moved to another town. So I lost my brother. I lost all my friends and family. I got out of a relationship that I got into at 17. I had my first daughter at 17. I was just this little wounded child that just wanted love so bad that I looked in all the wrong places. But I truly believe that she saved my life, and I love her, and I tell her that all the time. But after moving with my mom, I just remember feeling so depressed, and I left everything I knew. And at the time when I got pregnant with my daughter Autumn, I got pregnant right before my brother's birthday after he died, and she reminds me of him so much. But I just remember feeling so alone. I looked up ways to kill myself. I fed my kids frozen food. I got into lots of fights with my mom. We were both in a new town. I remember one specific time I actually took off. I told her I'm done. And I was pregnant with my little Queensland dog and all my kids in the stroller. And I remember I told her I'm walking to the homeless shelter. And she didn't want me to go, but I left. And I remember I didn't make it. It was really far. And I stopped at Walmart, and I laid on the bench right there with my kids, just in there. And I remember thinking, like, what does my life come to? Just don't even want to be here anymore. And I see my mom come up like 30 minutes later, and she takes my kids home, and is mad at me for bringing them out, which I totally regret that. But I was hurting and wasn't thinking right. And I wouldn't get in the car with her. I was so stubborn and hurting. And I let my hurt my mom. And I regret that now, and I have an amazing relationship with her now. But I just remember walking home and just thinking that there has to be something. And I actually had a beautiful soul that had been following on social media for a while. She was like, you need to get moving. Like, you just need to get up and get moving. So I started with exercise, and then I found a yoga place near where we were. Actually went and did hot yoga a few times pregnant, and then they're like, you're not supposed to do that. I did actually 2 back-to-back Bikram sessions. I was dying, and they're like, no, you're not supposed to do that. But I was just hurting so bad. I felt so good releasing all that. So I ended up finding another yoga teacher that wasn't hot yoga, and finding a pregnancy tribe. And I just remember it just helped me so much more spiritually as well, because of the breath work and grounding techniques. And so I really got into exercising, and I started to feel a lot better. I started, looking around in the area, like, okay, what can I do? Who can I meet? I tried to go out and enjoy time alone. I had a mentor, tell me to try to enjoy my alone time. And I remember crying. I went out to eat, and I just remember crying. And now I find myself, honestly, I love being with people, but I love my time to myself. I don't feel like I need people to feel happy. I love people, and they can enhance, the feelings, but I know that I am in charge of my happiness. So that was huge for me. And my mom ended up getting a better job in San Francisco. So we moved to the Bay Area, and again, moved to another area. I grew up as a child moving all over. So I always thought it was a bad thing. And now I'm like, oh, I'm good at making friends and connecting with people. So, yeah. And so I ended up going to the Bay Area, and I came across this really cool school, the National Holistic Institute. And so I went with my kids, and I looked at it. I was pregnant with my with Autumn at the time, my fourth baby, and I fell in love. I fell in love with everybody there. So I actually signed up for a few months after, and then I started, the whole year program. And I remember starting, And I was bummed because I wanted to start in the Western, because we did Eastern and Western. And we started in Eastern. And I was like, because I just, I wanted to learn massage right away and I wanted to get into it. But I really feel that the universe makes no mistake, And so I got to actually learn about meditation. I had no idea. We started class every day, 15, 20 minutes of meditation, uninterrupted. And it changed my life. I got to meet so many amazing people from my class. We had a just huge, diverse group of people. And I remember this lady from Thailand, my skin broke out after my brother died. It was horrible. And she was like, your digestion and like all these things. And I was just like so intrigued, by natural healing, but I had no idea. And then I found this beautiful soul, Jessica, at my school, and I ended up working with her at a chiropractor's office, which was amazing. You're talking too, huh? And I got to work with an acupuncturist who used to be an NFL Raider player. And I got to meet him and his wife, who was a Raider cheerleader. And I got to go out to their house and hang out with them. And I got to be around a naturopathic doctor that worked there as well, Dr. Mandir. And I just had these amazing people, and I wasn't really making anything, honestly. Like, I was actually losing money, if anything. But I kept telling my mom, I'm getting so much more than money. I'm learning so much more. And my kids got to get free chiropractic adjustments, free naturopathic appointments. Like, I was like, this is better than regular insurance. But everybody else is like, no, you're not making anything. But I saw the bigger picture. I was like, I'm learning so much. And I eventually could not heal my acne no matter how hard I tried. And I always try to help people. So I felt like I'm going to move back and I'm going to go to school with my cousin Summer, who's in this group as well. And we went to an aesthetic program together. And I actually got back with my ex. He was doing some work. So I got back with him, but it's just, it's kind of like you sweep everything under the rug and then it just gets shooken out again and everything comes back up. So he ended up putting his hands on me, and I actually got a counselor to be able to leave him, because I'm the type of person, I feel like I need to fix people before myself. And I knew that it was only hurting me and the person and our children. So I seeked out a counselor, even though I was struggling so much financially. I was like, I know it's going to be worth it. The money, that has nothing to do with it. She ended up helping me leave him. And then right after leaving him, I actually opened my business. I found a place to rent. I could not get a loan at all because after my brother died, I co-signed for my mom to get a car, and she was struggling and got it repossessed. So it negatively impacted me, and I literally couldn't even get $1,000 loan. And so I saved little by little what I could and got what I could. And I remember starting with my clients and letting everybody know about my business. And I know that my family wasn't trying to not be supportive, but they, people have limiting beliefs and fears, and we come from a small town. So they're like, okay, I don't know how good you're going to do, this and that. And it hurt. It did hurt, but it also fueled me. And now, 4 years later, I have a really big clientele. I have people that drive over an hour to come see me in other bigger towns where there's like multiple people that do what I do. And they always tell me it's so much more than the service. It's like therapy and a spiritual uplift. And I used to have a hard time like hearing that. Even in school, when they would tell me that I'm really good, I didn't think I was good, even when people would tell me, because as a child, my dad criticized. I was never good enough. So it really had to be drilled into my head, but I also didn't want to come off, in a like ego or, way like that. And now I finally have accepted, and I'm like, no, I love what I do, and it's okay to be proud of how far you came. And so without being, big-headed or ego-driven, because I'm totally not like that. But and yeah, so today I have my holistic healing spa. I plan to expand, and I met beautiful Chabaria and all of you guys from the Freedom Lifestyle team. And I just, in the short amount of time that I've started, I feel like I've grown so much. I actually am launching my program in November. I'm still working on it with Rajesh, the funnel and everything, but I have 6 calls set up next week for potential clients. And I would have honestly never stepped out of my comfort zone like this without you guys and your encouragement. And I really am clear on my next step in life and my calling. And I really want to help people. I want to help people that have been where I am and help them discover their unique hidden talents and gifts, and to help them be able to overcome their emotional blockages and release them, and really focus on their beautiful energy and enhancing it, and everything around them, and just living their dream life as well. I'm really excited for this next chapter. And
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us and with everyone. And first of all, like, you are amazing. You're amazing. I think
you.
what's really, what's really powerful, and I respect you so much for, is having that background and all the things you've been through, which is a lot. And now you're here wanting to help other people who might be going through the same thing, or maybe not even. They have a okay life, they're doing okay, but they want to reach the next level. Like, it's so nice to see that you are using your experiences, and rather than kind of dwelling on it, which it's very easy to do, right? When you have had these experiences, to dwell on it and just think, oh, well, this is my life. But you've turned it around. And now you're here helping all these other people and taking all these actions with beautiful family. And your energy is so, I want to say, pure as well. Like, I've seen you on DCA before, and obviously we've spoken here and before we were recording as well. And it's just, yeah, you're just amazing. And I want you to know that. Um, and what I find really interesting and powerful is that things started changing the moment you decided you wanted change, right? It's the moment you switch in your mind, like, no, I want change and I'm going to change this. That's when everything around you starts changing and starts getting better, right? It's that flip, like, just flip the switch, decide you want better, and things will get better, right? What is that? That's what I took from that anyway.
Yeah, no, yes, literally, that's how I felt, and that's what I want to share with other people. How our thoughts and our actions, can truly create the reality that we want. And I've been working on my energy and my healing, and also my kids and my friends and family. And it's amazing that once you start to really pay attention, everything is syncing together. Every conversation, even us today, talking, everything across our path, even things that we don't want to hear or don't like or may trigger us. It's a teacher, there's a teacher in every experience. And I always try to tell my clients too, and I just got to this place in my life, but whenever something happens between me and another person, I always look at my view, their view, and the universe or God or the divine's view. And I always tell them, go with that view. Because a lot of the times, people people are triggered by other people or have drama or have problems, but what I want to help people understand is that sometimes love can be expressed as anger and other things. So whether it's with, a parent or somebody close to them and they have that challenging relationship, love just wants to come out. That's our natural frequency is love. And, I grew up, my dad, he did a lot of things. I saw a lot of things. I saw him beat my mom and do things to my mom and us kids. And this very day, I've forgiven him, and he's an amazing grandpa to my children. And I now understand the depths of his pain and what he went through as a child, and just that ancestral, generational trauma. And so I don't have anything, any anger towards him at all. I remember my mom as well. She got in trouble growing up for embezzlement, and so she was in and out of prison as well. So my grandparents raised me a lot of my life, and I remember my grandma trying to protect me, and I was in 4th or 5th grade, and she told me my mom was on a work trip, and she actually had went to prison. And I remember for weeks coming home, when is my mom gonna be home? And then she finally had to tell me because it was gonna be over a year. And I love her. My grandma's the sweetest soul, and she was trying to protect me, but it actually made it a lot worse. And I had a lot of anger with my mom, honestly, even up until last year. Not as much as I did as a younger adult, but she just lost her dad last week. And she's here with me now. And I'm hosting my my grandpa's celebration of life this tomorrow, actually. I'm gonna be putting it together with a beautiful sound bath meditation and some food, and I just want to honor his life. But I've told her I'm sorry that it took me so long to get here, but that I'll never let my hurt or pain spill out onto anybody ever again. And I want to help other people, awaken that power within them as well, and let them know that they can heal themselves and they can heal their family. Because I feel like as a mom, and I have a passion especially for moms, but everyone, right? But moms especially, because I feel like our children need us at our very best. And their challenges are cries for us to truly evolve as parents.
Yeah.
I can really resonate with you, Brie. Thank you so much for being so vulnerable with us and showing us, telling us your story. I can really resonate with you because I had my first son when I was 17. I was married and pregnant at 16, had my son at 17. So I can resonate with that. I've had a lot of negativity and a lot of hardship in my life too, maybe not to the extent that you have, but I can completely resonate with what you're saying. And I like how, like Josie said, that once you made the decision that you want to change, it's like flipping a light switch. That is so true. And the fact that you're like, because it's that mentality and that switch that, okay, I want change. I'm going to go for change. I'm no longer the victim. I'm not going to play a victim. I'm going to be a survivor, and I'm going to kick ass. I'm going to do, excuse my language, I'm going to do absolutely amazing. And then it's, it takes a little bit of time to get your footing. But once you got your footing on there and you get that solid foundation, and then the building just goes really fast up from there, right? And I love that. And I love the fact that, you're sharing your story with us. And I want you and everybody else here to know, multimillionaires, a lot of the multimillionaires started out in that same position. And all they did was decided, I want change. And then they said, okay, I'm going to get change. I'm no longer a victim. I'm going to survive. I want better. And they started working their hiney off, and they got better. And now where they're at, they're multimillionaires. So you are definitely on your way. And we're so excited and happy to be able to join you on that journey and support you. But yeah, I can really resonate with you. And I just want people to know that just because, you're in a really bad negative position right now, you're in a really bad state, doesn't mean you have to stay there. It is a choice. It is a very difficult choice. It's a very hard one to recognize and to accept and then to put into action, but it is a choice, you know, and with a lot of hard work and determination, anything is possible. Anything is possible, and you can reach anything and anywhere in your life that you want, right?
Yes.
So I thank you so much for bringing that forward, because, you know, and I do believe the same thing you do, you know, like I want to help people live a better life. And I went out and got Panda Express. Okay, it's an Americanized Chinese food, I get it. But the fact was that I had a fortune cookie, and in that fortune cookie, the fortune said, "Live a life you love." So my goal in life is to help other people do exactly that. Live a life they love, because it's not about just living a really good life, right? Or live a life to please other people. It's about you, acknowledging you and who you are, your powers, your imperfections, and making sure that every decision you make on a daily basis is for your higher good and for your higher purpose that's going to make you the happiest, right? And make you live the best life possible. So, thank you so much, Aubrey, for sharing all of this with us. This is so awesome and such a powerful message. I love it.
Thank you for sharing that with me too. You're so beautiful, and I really feel like having a child at such a young age, back in the day we may have been, criticized for it or told things, but I feel like my daughter taught me so much about life, and I'm sure you feel the same with your son.
I think it was a little more accepted when you had yours, because I'm a lot older than you are. And when I was, you know, it was a little more accepted than when my sister did it, because my sister did the exact same thing. She just had a worse time than I did. But yeah, it is still kind of frowned upon, although it is somewhat accepted for people to have kids at a young age. Doesn't mean that we can't do anything. And now there's so many more opportunities and help out there to help the mothers be able to still become something. So yeah, and we don't have to stop at just being young, a mother, and being considered stupid, you know.
You're so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
But this is
You
so
are.
nice to listen to. I want to say I have three things to say. How many things? Three. One, actually, I had two things until you said just that just now, with being like just a mother or just a mum. I saw a post from Elena Cardone, Grant Cardone, Elena Cardone, and she was talking about how she used to feel really ashamed that her husband was out there working, doing all this, and she was just a mum. People at events would ask her, "What do you do?" And she would answer, "Just a mum." And she looks back at that now and thinks, just a mum, just a mum. Like I'm responsible for a life. Like I'm holding this human life and I'm keeping it alive. Like just a mum. So I think that's something society needs to wrap their head around.
She was
That's
putting
the
in
first.
more work than her husband, right?
Mhm.
You're keeping,
Just being a mom, yeah,
yeah, you're
because our
keeping it
job never ends.
alive.
No.
Anyway, that's something I had to. I think society is getting there, but we need to work on as well. Um, Something else that I want to highlight as well is we're talking about change. And just as soon as you made that decision to change, things started changing and it's just flipping that switch. And yes, the decision to I want change, very easy. That's a very easy thing to decide in your head. To actually stick to it and make it happen, that's not so easy. And that's what I want. I don't want people who are listening to take it wrong that we're saying just decide you want change and then change will happen. Like, no, that's not how it works. You need to work at it and continue to choose change. You can wake up one day and say, "Hey, I want change," and have a really good day that day. Great. amazing. Who, her, who. You have to wake up every single other day of your life and decide that you want change as well. It doesn't stop. Like it doesn't just stop. So that's something I think is really powerful as well. And the third thing I wanted to say is if anyone is listening and they're going through something in their life or something, maybe something just doesn't feel right and you don't know what, or you don't know how to get out of this, please follow Aubrey, reach out to her. I know like me, Misty, our whole team can attest for how pure and kind she is and her energy is. And actually, that brings me on to another question. You're launching your courses, your business, your brand, which is so exciting. What can we like expect in there? What are you going to be helping people with, or your courses? Tell us about it.
I'm so excited. So I'm still Rajesh is still helping me with my funnel and all that, but I have a breakdown of, everything that I want to help people with. And it's basically going to be like, I'm going to be infusing fitness into it as well. So I want people to be into the best shapes of their life. And I really feel like movement is everything. So that'll be one thing. But a big thing is awareness. I'm going to help them identify what's holding them back. I'm going to be teaching them different grounding tools and spiritual tools and practices to help them as well. I'm going to be also helping them heal any ancestral wounds and really dig deep to see what's holding them back from what they want to do in life, help them discover their passions, their hidden gifts, and also help them come up with a business plan and, really guide them and coach them to help them leave their stressful 8 to 5 jobs so that they can have more time with their children and not be so irritated and tired and, struggling all the time. So I will be helping them right now. I'm a sound bowl healer and I'll officially be a master in Reiki November 11th. And I'm a quantum life coach. So I will be infusing my tools to help them guide them along. And I'll have different packages. So my top package will actually include a retreat at the end where we'll go and I'll be giving everyone energy crystal infused massages, facials, we'll do sound bath meditation and yoga and eat really good and connect and just do really, really deep self-reflection exercises and speech therapy. And, I haven't fully planned it, but then I actually have another side hobby that I love doing. So I make pain salves, pain liniments, fire cider, cleansers, lotions, and body butters and things like that. So I was thinking that I would infuse them with a whole kit at the end of that. But I'm really excited. This will be my first program, and I know that there will be challenges along the way. But I cannot thank all of you enough for shifting my mindset on challenges and getting excited about them. Chibari is amazing at that. I used to always freak out and think, oh my gosh, why is this happening to me? And now I'm like, it's not happening to me. It's happening for me. And my beautiful cousin Summer, she shared with me last week that the strongest leaders have the most arrows in their back. And that really resonated with me. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I wanted to share that with you all because I truly believe that, we go through these challenges because our future self needs us to learn and grow. And it's like unlocking endless levels of growth, basically. Like Chabaria says, learning happens in stages. So I am excited to teach people what I've learned in 7 years in 7 weeks. So
Wow. Wow. If you're
Wow.
still listening and you heard all of that and that doesn't interest you, what are you doing? Come on now.
Right? What's wrong with you?
Wow. So cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you having 6 kids and being able to do all this as well is absolutely incredible because, first of all, you are a master at challenges. It's just changing, like you said, changing the mindset of how you view the challenges. But you're a master at challenges because I have 4 kids of my own, so I know what that's like. And then being able to do all this stuff to not only help other people, but the influence and what you're showing your kids is amazing because they're going to be able to step away from the family that you're creating, that you have, into life with a whole different, stronger mindset and ability to adapt to challenges. And there's just going to be that you can see, you just know what I'm trying to say, the growth and the change that you're creating, and the children that they're catching. They're not just learning because they more is caught than taught. So they catch what you're doing and what you're saying, and they're going to take that and they're going to apply it into their lives. So you're giving them a step up in life, and I absolutely love that. And I want to commend you on that because those are, you're creating a very powerful future, not only for yourself, but for your children and for other people that you not only touch, but that a ripple effect that your children are going to touch, and then, everybody else. So that you are amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Thank
I know
you.
that all sounded like mud, but you get my drift.
Oh, you're so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I second everything that was said. And something you said that really I was like, ding, is you help people like realize, you help people see what's going on and help them figure out where it might be coming from. I think that's really important because you can you can want change and you can grow and you can want to grow. That's amazing. But unless you first take responsibility for where you are, there might be other people involved as well. But take full 100% responsibility for who you are, where you are, what you're doing, because that's the only way that you can actually truly start working on yourself and change. It might not be your fault. It might not be your fault that you are where you are right now, but take that responsibility because only then can you actually start changing and help yourself. If you keep on blaming other people, you're never going to be able to help yourself. So I think that's really powerful. Yeah.
Lucy said it perfectly. Honestly, the victim mode. That's exactly what I said when I got out of that. Oh my gosh, I'm not playing victim anymore. And
Yeah.
I see, that in a lot of people that I'm around. And so I want to help them realize that
Yeah.
awareness
My oldest daughter, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. My oldest daughter is the one that actually told me to stop playing the victim because I didn't know I was doing it.
Yeah.
I didn't know
My
I was doing it, and it took me a long. It like threw me for a loop. I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
I know. It
And
kind of
then,
makes you mad at first, but then it's like, wait.
yeah. Um. So yeah, she's the one that actually did that, and now I can step back and see where I was at and where I'm at now, and I can see my kids are going through the same patterns that I was going through, and I keep wanting to, like I told them, I want to fix everything for you. I'm your mother. I want to take care of you. I want to fix everything for you, but I can't do that. Because if I do that, you don't learn the lessons, you don't become the stronger person, and it's just not going to work out. So, like, I like what Josie said that, you have to recognize and take responsibility for where you're at and what's going on around you. Not doesn't have to mean like I really want to bring that up again, Josie, where you said it doesn't You may not be the one at fault. It may not be your fault for where you're at and what you're doing, but taking the responsibility is one of the most important things, because it's recognizing, hey, this may not be entirely my fault, but I'm involved. And me being involved is my responsibility. Because, like, Master says, and we hear a lot of people say, like you had said earlier, Aubrey, it's not, things aren't happening to me, they're happening for me. So if you're going through those really difficult spots where you're in those really hard places, there's lessons there you absolutely have to learn. And until you learn those lessons, you're going to keep repeating them. So you have to be self-aware. You have to take responsibility and be able to say, okay, I want change. This is going to be a very hard, difficult, very, very difficult process. But with the determination, I'm going to do this. And I can reach out and find people who will help me along my journey, and go for it. Don't be afraid to help out, to reach out to people, because everybody, people are sitting there, oh, don't do this. I'm so embarrassed. I've learned a long time ago not to be embarrassed when something happens, because of the fact that I know that everybody in life goes through somewhat the similar things.
Yes.
We all get embarrassed. We all go through those little mishaps that or we go back through those bad times. So there's no reason to be embarrassed. There's reason to look at it and say, okay, this happened. This is what I learned from it. Let's move forward. I don't have to be embarrassed, because I know that person's going to understand, because they've been through something similar. So reach out to people. Your tribe is your vibe. If you want to do better, get around better. It's like where I live right now, the people around me, I'm sure, are absolutely amazing people. But I don't fit, because they're settled in where they're at. They've settled for what they have, and I don't think that way. So I've got to work my hiney off to get over to where I can be around people that are around my same vibe. And I struggle with that, but that's for another story.
I agree. I feel like you're kind of like me in the sense too, like we want to help. We want to help everyone.
Yeah.
And sometimes we can't, because it's like people have to want it in them. It's that, like we were talking about, it's that awareness is that first huge step, and it actually is the biggest step, because not everybody comes to that awareness throughout their lifetime, what's holding them back. So I feel like some people get that and they stop right there, because they feel, they're scared to take the action. But actually, the action is, it is difficult at first, but once you do it, it's like anything, practice makes perfect. And once you start taking that action, your confidence starts to build. And I didn't even feel confident really about just being my natural self and posting live and whatnot. And Shabaria just makes me feel so comfortable. I think in one of the lives, I was like, I put my arm up, and then I was like, oh, my arms are hairy underneath. I was just like, the old Aubrey would have been like horrified. And I'm just like, it's so nice, because we feed off of each other, and we want to see people being their authentic, real self, because everybody tries to be, this perfect. There's no such thing, and it just stresses us all out. It really does. And when we can just be ourselves with one another, that's when real deep connection and healing takes place. So thank you guys for helping me build that confidence.
Awesome. So guys, time has flown. We're coming to the end. So as we wrap up, is there any, I want to say ending messages, or any last words you guys would like to say to people as we're wrapping up everything? Did you have anything you wanted to say? Go for it. Either one.
Let's go. You go for it, Aubrey.
So I just want to remind all of you how amazing you truly are, and how powerful you really are. And when you can come to that awareness and know that it's time to change and you want to see change in your life, you can truly manifest the life of your dreams. And it starts with that awareness and taking action. And it's not an easy journey, but my best advice would be to never give up. Never give up, and to get excited about challenges, because that really shifted a lot for me. And reach out if you need guidance or any support. I'm here. I have a YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, and I just launched my podcast this week. So
Let's go.
Yes.
Amazing.
Awesome.
So well said as well. So well said. I'll put all the links in the description below, so go check all of that out. But yeah, I want to echo exactly what you said. And it's really about choose change, continue to choose change every day. Take responsibility, because it really gives you your power back. And don't be afraid to reach out for help, because it's you can do it by yourself for sure, but you're going to get there so much quicker, and it's going to be so much easier for you if you reach out for help. What is that African proverb? You want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So reach out for help. Make sure you follow Aubrey on all the different channels. And yeah, thank you so much.
You know, I think as human beings, we all want true love, right? We all want true unconditional love. What's the only way you're going to have that? To be your true, unconditional, authentic self, right? So choose you. Choose to be your true, authentic self. Surround yourself with people who are moving in the same direction or have already gotten there that you're wanting to go into. Self-reflection and being self-aware can be very difficult, very, very difficult steps to take, but they're very necessary. Reach out, look within, reach out. We're here, you know, like we always say, once you're in the FLC, you're family for life. There's no getting out of it.
yeah.
And we mean that. We mean that because we truly believe that I don't care what race you think you are, you're a human race. And if you're not a human race and you're from another planet, fantastic. We love you anyway. Because the best way to get love is to give love.
Exactly.
And we want to be, I don't want to say all inclusive, but we want to embrace everybody and be able to support everybody. So dig deep. You can do this. Remember, you're not the only one who's either been in this position and gotten out of it, or is in this position and struggling to get out of it. And there are people who have been there. There's this song by Rodney Atkins, if you're going through hell, keep on going.
Yes, I love that song.
Yeah. I told one person that, you know, if you're going through hell, to keep going, you know, because the song says, if you're going through hell, keep going. You might just get out before the devil even knows you're there.
Yeah.
Well, find somebody who's been through hell, has the map, and have them help you get out.
Oh, that.
Right.
So with that being said, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And very quickly, I wanted to say this, and I didn't. Doing the work to change takes much less energy than not doing the work to change and staying where you are. It might feel like way more work to actually do the work to change. It takes much less energy than staying where you are. So
I think it's harder to make the decision than it is to actually make the change.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
the biggest hardest step.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm
So
gonna
good.
sneeze.
You guys are awesome, guys. It really does just come down to wherever we have challenges in our life, we just need more love there, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love there so we can receive more love.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We hope you found it engaging, interesting. If you have any comments or suggestions for future topics or anything at all, please share them, and we look at everything. We'll get you, if you have questions, we'll answer those as soon as possible. But we really want to have your input and your feedback. We really want to be able to bring you guys the topics that you want to hear. So with that being said, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Help us push this channel out to everybody that we can, because we really want to help as many people as possible to reach their freedom lifestyle, because here's where it begins. So with that being said, guys, we want to thank you again for being here. Welcome to the FLC family. Like I said, once you're family for life. We're here to love you, support you, keep learning. We'll be back next week with another episode, and we are so excited to have everybody here and on. So with that being said, thank you guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.